All right. My guest today is OShane. OShane is a salesman's salesman. And he doesn't know this, but OShane is actually the person who inspired me to make this podcast. So I've told this story lots of times, but OShane knocked on my door about a year and a half ago, and he was representing a company that sold frozen meat. His pitch and his style and his skills and his game impressed me so much. I ended up spending about $700 on frozen meat right there. And it just, the guy left an impression on me. It reminded me how much I appreciate good salesmanship and how valuable those skills are and how special those skills are. So that's where I got the idea I should make a podcast to talk to salespeople. So since I started this, I've been trying to track down OShane to have him on here. Yeah, I remember thinking, OShane, that's a strange name for a Jamaican guy. Well, it turns out it's a pretty common name in Jamaica. And I looked up OShane on Facebook, and there's lots of Jamaicans named OShane. And even I found another guy in the wholesale meat business, and I talked to him. I was like, no, this is the wrong guy. Anyways, it turns out he left his number on my phone because that's the kind of salesman he is. He took my phone. He let me put my contact info. Let's stay in touch. He got like that should have been the first place I looked, but. Anyways, I got him here. I've been really looking forward to this. I know this is going to be a lot of fun, and Shane, my subscribers are going to love you, all 10 of them. You're going to be famous, and so thank you for coming on
I'm
the
ready.
Commission Impossible podcast.
Yeah.
All right, a quick question: what are you selling now, and who are your clients?
Well, I mean, as a typical salesman, anything I touch or if I decide to do something, it's gonna be worthwhile. The company is gonna love the reception that I bring back to them. But right now, I currently start a logistic business. Me and my business partner in Calgary. That's going good, but it's now managed in the background. Like it was a hassle to get it going, but for the last what we've been doing this for 6 months now, so it's going pretty good. It's called Rapid Express Delivery Services. So what we do is we broker for a lot of these warehouses around Calgary. We get them the drivers and they come in and do all of that. Other than that, right now I am with I'm helping out Rogers growing because they took over Shaw and they're doing pretty good in the West here. So one of my buddy he bought into a contract and I'm helping him putting it out there where we're lowering internet bills, phone bills, you name it, whatever Rogers offer, right? So those are the two stuff I'm doing currently now, while still getting my LLQP with Great Way Financials. So that's gonna be epic because it's almost done. We're wrapping up right now,
So that's
and
life
yeah, so
insurance, right?
far, yeah, life insurance. So
Right.
I'm my 10 subscribers here, which is Taylor's favorite. I'm coming for you all.
Good to know. And then
Yeah,
you told me maybe you'll get into real estate with me down the road. That'd be real cool to
oh,
work together
brother,
if we get a chance to do that.
I like the way you said that, but the only thing I would subtract from it is maybe because it's definitely gonna happen.
Ah, I like that. I like that. I
Oh
like the
yeah,
attitude.
oh yeah,
So it sounds like you got your fingers in a lot of pies, right? And
yeah.
I'll sell anything to anybody, right? I love that. That's such a good sales guy attitude. Like, give me something to
Yeah, man.
sell, and I'll go find you a buyer.
I'll find you a buyer. I'm by the people for the people. So my name is Sales Best Friend. So I mean, I just gotta do what I was sent here to do, and it was just to help people find things that is difficult to them, where I probably get a more it's more simpler for me. Based, I don't know, it's based maybe based off my personality. I have a way with people, so I walk into a room full of strangers and I'll get something out of it by the end of the day. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
are you born with that, or did you learn that? Where did you learn that
I would
skill, or is that a
say,
gift?
yeah. I mean, I think it came natural. So I'll give you a little rundown of how it really began, Taylor. So even the subscribers can get a little feel of where I'm coming from to where I'm at right now. So I migrated to Canada 2016, right, with a culinary degree in cooking. Came here as a kitchen manager in Lethbridge, doing my thing over there. And uh, just there working and getting to know Canada, getting to know the culture a little bit, while introducing cross, like where I was we call it fusions. I was fusing the Jamaican with the Lethbridge people because it's more inner country, so they don't get exposed to international stuff, right? Like a lot of people
Yeah.
there, like I would say 70% of them don't travel, so they
Was
don't
this like
really
a
know.
Jamaican or Caribbean restaurant you're running or?
There wasn't even that. It was just
Yeah.
me coming here, working at a pub, like a
Yeah.
typical top house. And while I was there, I would introduce stuff. I would put stuff on special, and they would get the feel of it and like, oh, I like it. So from there, the name started to grow, and people start saying, hey, go see that Jamaican guy at Pop's Pub. So the restaurant is called Pop's Top House Bar and Grill. It's locally owned. The guy owns about four to five locations in the city. However, I was at the first one that was ever to open, so
So
it was kind of like,
they still got any of your recipes on the menu?
I mean, what he does to stay relevant is he changes his menu every 6 months. But I think there is some stuff that's still there that are like, it were big sellers, and he still sells them where Jamaican cuisine is concerned. Like I think he still has Jamaican patties. You can get your jerk chicken on a Saturday or a Tuesday night, and I introduced a popular wing sauce to them called the Hellfire. So the Hellfire was made by me, all natural herbs and spices. It plays a rhythm in your mouth, so when you're eating that, it's like, oh my God, can I? So they told me that they sold more beers ever since that sauce came in because it's hot. The
Yeah.
name says it
Got to put
all,
the
right?
fire out. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, the name says it all. So I mean, it was a good thing. I mean, coming from there now, so I started to transition into marketing. So I started to bottle and sell my own sauces. I would get little weekend gigs that I would go do a barbecue and whatnot. Till I went on to the summer events. They had this Caribbean festival. Some Edmonton guys came down and they did a little Caribbean thing, and I was a part of that. And then Latino Fest. They have a Latino Fest out there as well. So I got into those, and I would push my sauce, I would push my name, I'd push, so until I started a YouTube channel. Go check that out, Chef It Shano on all platforms. So I started that, and that's where I started cooking, and people start seeing the reaction, and it gained traction. I was monetized and was getting paid and all of that stuff. That was just around COVID time. So then
Right.
I met this guy. He came up from Calgary one weekend. Jamaican guy too, but he's half Chinese, so he'll mistake you. The minute you see him, you'll think he's just, who's this guy? So I mean, he came to Lethbridge, and some of the guys that I met out there, they introduced me to. He's like, hey, his name is Mario. He's a sales guy in Calgary. So started to talk with him. He loved my personality off the bat. He's like, man, what are you doing in the kitchen, bro? Like you need to be on the front. Like
Yeah.
you need to come talk to people. But I was like, nah, I'm cool. Just being a loyal guy. Came from Jamaica, working at this restaurant. I don't wanna hear nothing else. You know what I mean? But you grew over time, right? So I'm there and I'm thinking about what he's saying, and he's saying some good stuff, and he's like, hey, have you ever made 100K before? And he's telling me all this stuff, so it sounds good.
He recognized that you got some talent.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it sounds good. He's like, hey man, you should move to Calgary. There's a million and change people. There's a lot of network going on, and people out here. The busier the city, the least time people have to search for stuff for, and everybody wants a deal. So
That's true.
he's saying all this stuff, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take my first trip to Calgary. I'm gonna see what the city is about. Visit here. Came here about 5 times, and I like it. Love everywhere. Love the people. I realize now. So this is the thing, Taylor. This is what I realize now with the bigger city. The bigger the city, the more welcoming they are to a guy like myself. That's an outsider, right?
Right.
So I came to Calgary. The love was good. Everybody was like, "Oh my God, you're from Jamaica? Okay, cool." You know. So I was like, "Okay, I gotta take this leap of faith." So I ended up moving. I moved here, and when I moved
Nice.
here, I started. He got me a job in car sales. So I was working at Okotoks Gym. Big up Okotoks Gym. They gave me my first sales job, right? And then
How'd
I
that
worked with
go?
them.
You're
I
speaking my
mean,
language now.
right there. So
Yeah.
I'll tell you a little bit. So it started off where I had to do the Amvic license, and
Hmm.
so while I was doing the license, I sold a car today, and the sales manager was like, "Mario, you sure this guy is new to sales?" And Mario was like, "Well, I mean, this is his first job, but he has a way with people." So I mean, sold the first car. I think it was a what was it, a Malibu, Chevy Malibu or something like that. And then I start to twiggling now, like you getting that hot feet. So I was like, yeah, I can do this. I finished the Amvic course, started doing that. Ended up that I was the sales guy slash the the guy for barbecues on Friday.
Yeah.
I don't know where that came from, but I told them about my sauce, and they were like, "Oh my God, we're gonna get some barbecue stuff, burgers and jerkies, and you're gonna do that up for us." I was like,
So now you're
"Why not?"
feeding everybody.
So now I'm feeding everybody on the compound for on Fridays, and then the love grew from there. But I had one problem. So I lived at the time when my first um residence was in the north southwest, but it was Signal Hill. I don't know if
Oh
you're
yeah.
familiar with that area, close to Aspen.
Yep.
So I got a place there, and the drive, man, the drive was almost an hour in the morning, right? So,
Got pretty tired of that.
anyways, yeah, I thanked them at Okotoks GM. I said, hey, I'm gonna have to find something closer because I'm still not familiar with the city yet.
Mm.
And for me to drive an hour every morning, it's taking a lot from me. And I had a lot on my table because in that same time, Taylor, my daughter came about. She beautiful daughter. I'm a first time dad, so I'm kind of like that 1 hour. If I could cut that in like just 1 hour drive for the whole day, so
Yeah.
I
You
can get
start doing
more
the
time
math.
to
How
go
many
home.
hours a week you get back, and then how many
Yeah,
hours a
so
year? Yeah.
understand, right? And
Hmm.
and let's say I need lunch. Let's say I want to go get a snack. Sometimes what you really want is not in Okotoks, so you got to drive
Mm.
back to Calgary to get that. So I was calculating all the hours on the road, and I was like, man, if I could just find something closer, and voila, I sold this guy a truck, and his husband is the general sales manager at uh, Crowfoot Dodge.
Yep.
You see where I'm going now? So
Yep.
from Chevy to Mopar.
Hmm.
So I'm now selling Mopar products, Dodge 1500s, Hellcats, and all of this, right? Boom. That started off well. I was doing that and then stumbled upon the Meat Guys, where I
Right. Right.
actually ended up loving this game, man, because this was like way more interested to me. So I did about in between the two dealerships I did 6 months and 8 months, right? So I spent a
How
little bit
many
more
how
time
many
with
cars did you
Mopar.
sell at those places?
So at when I at Okotoks GM, I did 8 cars in my first month,
That's strong.
and next month I did six. I don't know what happened. I had a dip. Then the third month 10, and I kept going up,
Nice.
and they start making my quotas higher and higher,
Yeah.
just to push me, right?
Hmm.
So I was like, man, this it feels good. I was making money and all of that, but the drive time was just not my thing.
Yeah.
So ended up with Mopar now and hit the ground running at Mopar. 8 cars the first month, and 11 cars the second month, and it kept going. I think my highest numbers was what 14 cars. 14 cars I
Strong.
sold. I've ever sold in one month.
That's a good
And
month.
bear in mind, the economy was just bouncing back. 22,
Right.
2022, people, the car industry was just coming back alive. So I
Right.
mean, there wasn't a lot of room. You still have guys doing 20 cars a month, but you check their track record, they've been here 6 years, so
Hmm.
they
Yeah,
have
for a
the
new guy to do those
customers.
numbers, that's strong. And those
Oh yeah,
places are tough to work. Like those Dodge stores, they go through a lot of staff, and most people
man,
don't make a living at it there. So like if you come in brand new and you can make decent money, you're yeah, you're winning for sure.
you're
So
winning.
you went from that to meet guys, and you love that job. That was right up your alley because it's food.
Yeah,
You love
man.
food.
Yeah.
Tell the listeners about what this job is like, because it's door to door, right? You got like a
Oh
territory. How
yeah.
does that
Oh
work? And
yeah.
you got all the product on your truck.
Yes. So it's like this. When the job was pitched to me, it was the owners invited me at this big house that they have, big 8 bedroom house, and they wanted me to do a presentation of each product. So this was me getting the
Like
job
an audition.
audition, right?
Yeah, that's cool.
Because I told them my background. Like I said, hey man, I do this and I do this. I have this much knowledge in whatever you guys are doing. So they said, "Oh, sounds good. We want to make you a territory manager. So in order for us to give you that big jump, you got to do something great for us." So I said, "Okay, let's do it." So they just bear in mind the meat guys is a local meat company located in Calgary. They work straight out of Mardeloop. At my in my time, I'm no longer with them. Um, they work straight out of Mardeloop. What they carry is grass fed, grain finish beefs. They have ocean caught fish. I think they have a little bit of the farmery stuff, but they have mostly majority of their fishes and seafood is ocean caught. Like their scallops is from Digby, Nova Scotia, and so on and so forth. They have Pacific salmon. They have Norwegian salmon. So those it really got me the juice. I was like, whoa, natural stuff. Okay, and the way they kept it is they would get the product in every Sunday. The fish would come in. You have guys, packers that vacuum seals it, keep the temperature still. They vac seal them, put them in boxes, and they go straight in on the trucks. Every truck has to be parked in a whole line, and then they stack them, load them, and then the drivers come in the morning and get them, and we distribute across the city via cold calling. So it's like they have a customer base of about 50,000 or 100,000 customers, and but we're not there yet, Taylor. Right? I think we're at the audition part, right?
Yeah, tell
Let's
me
keep
about this audition.
let's finish that up. So
You're in the big
audition,
house.
boom.
Yeah.
I'm in the big house. Voila, nice big house. They invited all the sales guys to come and see the presentation that I'm gonna do. So I mean, they had halibut, salmon, mahi mahi. They have rainbow trout. They had fish is my favorite, by the way. You guys probably gonna realize
I,
that very soon.
I don't eat any fish. I'm a beef guy, but
Yeah,
yeah.
it's Alberta,
Um
right? I go against the odd in Alberta because
yeah.
I'm loving beef now because the beef here is phenomenal. Triple A, yeah, it's done. But yeah, so they lined out all these fishes and they had sirloin, they had ribeye steaks, they had New York strip loin, they got filet mignon, right?
Did you get a chance
On the
to prepare for this thing?
oh yeah, I mean, I didn't need much preparation because I have all my tools, right? Like I have everything.
You can
I have
freewheel it.
from yeah, I can freewheel it. I have from the
Yeah.
knives, the different knives. The I got everything. So I didn't really need a lot of preparation more than they just tell me what I'm gonna cook. Like, what are the
Hmm.
types? Am I gonna do fish, chicken, pork, lamb, whatever? So I mean, they lined them out, and I went in, and I started with the pork and the chicken. So they had the you remember that chicken breast that you like,
Yep.
the one that has, it's not like the grocery store one where they pump it with the sodium water. So it's
Hmm.
more natural, right? So that one I started with. I grilled that for them with some asparagus. That was good.
Oh, you're cooking for
Show
them. You're
them
not
how to
just
do it.
showing your pitch.
Yeah, I'm doing it nicely. With I think I do two style. I think I turned it into a chicken parm, and I
Nice.
did a grilled chicken, and I served the chicken parm with just some Caesar fries, and I did the grilled chicken with the asparagus and the carrots and stuff. So what I'm really demonstrating is how you're gonna tell the customer what they can do with this product. At least you have two stuff in your head, because the thing what the owner told me is, these guys, some of these guys, they can sell the product, but when they get their breaking point is when the customer asks, so what can I make with this? I mean, m- a lot of people don't cook, and we all know that, Taylor. That, listen, I don't know what to tell you to make with it. So that was always their
Hmm.
answer, right?
So
Or
you give
you
them
can
some
just Google
ideas.
it, or you know what I mean. And most of these guys, I'll tell you, the age group that I came when I came to the meat guys and I saw the age group, it was between 18 and 27. So still kids, right?
Hmm.
So I mean, they didn't know much about cooking. So the customers would be drowning in, like, what am I gonna do with all this, with a box of chicken breasts? I can't just do one thing with it every time. So that's where I came in, and I did, for each product I would do two dish, and they would see how I do it, and they would take videos, they would take pictures, and they would keep that as bullets for when they're at the door, right? Um, so fast forward from that now, presentation was phenomenal. I think I got the job before I got there, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean. So with that said, now I'm going into the field now. So took me out on a run. I saw the whole thing. I was like, cool. You have 50. You have at the time I think they had like 70,000 customers, right? And they had 70,000 customers, but majority of their customers was in the southwest of Calgary,
Hmm.
the rich areas. Because what we sell, and not to take away from anybody, but what the company sold was premium stuff, premium cuts, stuff to its convenience, and convenience goes to a targeted set of people, like people who are busy. They don't have
And they're willing
time
to pay
for
a little
anything.
more.
They're willing to pay a little more. They don't got time
Hmm.
to grocery shop on a Thursday to catch the fresh stuff, right? So when we go to the door, they would love us. The kids would love us. Everybody would just take on to, like, oh my God, the meat guys is here, because the convenience, especially around the festive seasons like Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter coming up. It's a big one as well. People would call us. Oh my God, when are you coming back? Oh, we don't come back till 3 months time. Oh no, I need products. So I mean, getting into the game, I realized that it was really my thing, and I enjoy doing it. It was like I did it effortlessly, and I mean, we still had I had mentors. I had people that was still doing more numbers than me, but I think it was all because of they've been here before me, and I still learn from them. They learn from me, because where the food knowledge is concerned, I would enlighten them a lot, right? I would give them the whole rundown of everything, and let them understand, like, you know, fish cooks in like less time. Like, you tell your customers that, listen, don't buy a whole lot of fish. Buy chicken, buy beef. Fish is like a treat. You're not
Cook it tonight.
gonna, yeah, you're not gonna have this on your freezer for 6 months. It's not gonna
Mm.
work. I mean, so I would tell them all of these stuff, right? And they would learn, and it's now giving them more ammunition for when a customer would ask a question that they cannot answer. So I mean, me being there was a bigger contribution to a lot of the sales gurus that have been doing it, and you've probably met one of my mentor. Her name is Elena, right?
Yeah, she
Great,
comes here.
great
Yeah.
sales lady. She's Ukrainian.
Hmm.
Her background, she said she used to sell vodka in Ukraine, so it's more of a tougher game. She
Yeah.
said, yeah. so, so I mean, we work together. You know, I will always have respect for her, even when we don't work anymore together. But she can call me anytime. I can call her anytime. We can discuss
You,
stuff.
you sound like you're talking about an ex.
I mean, yeah,
You broke
work
up.
X.
You broke up.
we
Yeah.
divorced, work X.
Work
yeah,
wife. So
man,
let me tell
work
you
life.
what I noticed about your presentation. What made it different to me was the enthusiasm, and you got me talking. You got me excited about through your excitement about it and your enthusiasm, because you asked what I like to cook for dinner, and I said, well, I'm a steak guy. What kind of steaks you like? You like a New York steak? What do you like? I said, tenderloin's my specialty. Oh, I got to show you
Yeah,
my
yeah, yeah.
tenderloins. You went to your truck, you took them out of the box, you put it in my hand. That was something I noticed, like the tactile part of it. You put your
Tactile,
product in
yeah.
my hand. You made me look at it. How am I going to say no at that point when I'm
Yeah.
already holding it now, right? I thought that
Yes.
was just such a strong move. And then you just got me talking, and you got excited, but I could tell. And we stood on my doorstep, and we talked about food and talked about grilling steaks and stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
$700 later, had a freezer full of meat, right?
You had a
So
freezer full of meat. Yeah.
yeah.
No, and it's what I really like. A lot of people would say, "Oh my God, well, are you just selling me this to not come back?" No, like I got your back for life. Like you can call me anytime, even if you're 50 something and we met in your 30s, I still have something that you might want, right? So
Mhm.
I mean, the minute we meet at the door, I'm not here to sell you anything. And I think I even mentioned that to you, Taylor. Like, I'm not here to sell you. I'm here to show you good products, and you decide that if this fits what you do when your door is closed, right? So,
Yeah, that's strong.
um, I think that's the best way to bring across anything, because you break the ice right there, and it's just a tip for upcoming salespersons out there that never try to force a sale, and don't use the word selling or buy, or you're here to sell me something, because if you're here to sell me at my door, I'm gonna honestly tell you that I'm okay, because
Yeah.
it just sounds like you're trying to solicit me, like you're trying to force me to spend my money. No, don't ever do that. You go and you just meet the person, you get to know them, and you just say, hey, listen, I got some good products here, and based on,
Let me show you.
I'll show you what I have, and you just go
You
from
know,
there. And
that's such a good point, O'Shane. Like especially in my business too, the relationship is way more valuable than the sale,
then you
right?
selling the
Like,
house. A
because
million
I don't
people is
want to.
gonna buy the house,
That's right.
but
That's right.
you build a
And I'll tell my
relationship.
clients,
Yeah.
yeah, like and this is something that I learned when I started. I'll tell my clients, I don't want to sell you one house.
Mm-mm.
I want to sell your next 5 houses. I want to be your trusted advisor that you call
Yeah.
and that you recommend to your friends and that sort of thing. So that's yeah, we're on the same page. That's a really
Oh
good
yeah,
piece of
buddy.
advice for salespeople.
And sales reflect on each other, because when I met you, I could tell that whatever you do, you're doing good at it, and you're doing it the right way, and people just like you for Taylor. Because when I met you, I was like, man, I got this guy to buy something from me, but it's not just that. It's more like his energy was right.
I appreciate that.
Your energy was right. So even when I wasn't selling you anything, or I couldn't provide a service for you, I was like, he's still somewhere in a good place for me, because at any time
You
I can say,
made a
"Hey Taylor,
connection, right?
what's up? What you doing?" Yeah. So it felt really good that way. And I mean, this is another tip for sales, upcoming sales guys. Not everybody you sell something really likes you. They probably like your product, and you got to just live with that, because I have customers that they're really abrupt with me, but they bought, and they don't talk to me ever again until they need stuff again. So I understand that relationship where it's like, I'm not a friendly person, but I need good stuff. So I
Yeah,
mean,
not
in life,
everyone's not
just
everyone's gonna like you,
understand that.
right? That's one
Exactly.
thing.
You're not here. Yeah, like we go with the energy, and we reflect it. So
So
you
you've
give me positive energy, I reflect the same thing, and we
and here
keep
we
it
are.
going. And trust me, the the ones that really don't like you, they will buy for the next 10 years, because they're not trying to impress you. They're not doing anything like that. They're just spending their money. And I remember a lady, Margaret, right? Great buyer. She lives in Tuscany. Lady, if I am 2 minutes late, she said, never mind. Just 2 minutes, because she puts her order in on every first Sunday of each month. So Monday morning she needs her delivery, right?
Mhm.
Great lady. She's Ghanaian. Lives in Tuscany. I think, really great woman and stuff. And she would text me on a Sunday, and she would give me a list of products she needs. And she's like, if you're not coming, let me know, because I don't want to buy from anyone else. I said, I'll reply to her right away, because now I feel like she's my mom. She's like, oh my God. I'm like, oh, Margaret, yeah, I got your message. I will be there at, she wants me to come around 10 o'clock, right? So I said, I'll be there at 10 o'clock. Perfect. That's it. She doesn't even reply to me. But if I show up, she's ready at 10. So you got people like those, but they're like the 2-3% in sales. Honestly, majority of
Yeah,
people who buy from you, they really like you first before they buy anything. But you got some people that are just like that, because remember, the key word in this is that she doesn't want to buy from anyone else.
right,
I
right.
think that's the key line in. So it shows you that she really likes you, but it's tough love.
Yeah,
It's tough
people got a
love. It's
different way
like
of showing it.
you're a bad kid, and your mom really loves you, but she can't tell you.
I bet you
So,
still got Margaret's contact in your phone, don't you? Of
oh yeah, oh of
course you
course.
do.
Like,
I bet you got
oh, of
thousands of
course.
contacts in your phone.
I got 1,000 contacts.
I bet you know everybody you sold a house to, everybody you sold
Everybody,
a box of
everybody.
frozen meat to, and everybody you sold a
T-
Jamaican patty to in Lethbridge.
tell you what,
Yeah.
tell you what. So in COVID, I remember I got laid off just when COVID started, right? Because I was the manager, they couldn't pay me to stay there, because they wanted to minimize the wage and all of that. But so I got laid off. But back in Jamaica, growing up, I used to do my thing with bikes. Like, I used to build them, bicycle, bikes, whatever, scooters. So I have a little knowledge in that. So I started a little gig from my house, and I post an ad saying that, hey, I'm taking all unwanted bikes around the city. If you have any old bikes in your yard and you want to give them to me. That time I had a truck, so I could pick up like 50 bikes at once. And I post the ad in the morning, and it went viral by 5
How many bikes did you get?
I picked up 58 bikes in 2 days.
Yeah.
And I had to cancel the ad, because I had too much bikes, and I had to, what I was gonna do is restore them, and make them rideable again, and everything was good. And I made a promise that I would give all the kids bike, I would give them back for free.
Oh, nice.
So that, I think that was a selling point right there. But I got so much customers, Taylor. I think I made like 10 grand selling bikes.
Wow.
No, no, no kidding. And all these customers that bought from me, they still call me up till today's date. Hey Shane, um, are you doing any bikes this summer? And this is like 4 years ago, man.
Wow.
4 or 5 years ago, and
So
people
this
still
this
call
is
me
a
up to today.
this is a hustle that you had in Jamaica when you're a kid.
And I didn't even see it as a hustle. It was more like we doing we as boys.
Yeah.
Like we hang around the elders and we'd see how they do it, and we would have our own bikes, and then we would save that money that we would take it to the shop. Instead of taking it to the shop, we would just do it ourselves. So it was just like I would say it was more like a skill I developed. Yeah, something like
So
that.
you've sold bikes, you've sold all these different things. You're getting into to life insurance. That sounds like a different game. That's a lot of hard conversations you got to have with people. You got to
Oh
talk to
yeah,
them about their end, right?
and I'm prepared for it because before I decided that I'm gonna do this, I got myself life insurance for me, my daughter, and my fiance. Right, so
Hmm.
we have sat in this conversation and we have been asked the questions and we have asked the questions. So
Right,
it's not gonna be anything I would say new. It's more like me just applying the knowledge that I gained, because that's me. You will be talking to me and I'm learning something, but you're not even realizing that I just learned a whole bunch of stuff from you. And that's what I did. The guy who got us set up, pretty nice insurance structure, because this one pays you while you're alive. So I think I like this one. It's not the one that you have to pass and then money goes to family and whatnot.
right, right.
This one pays you. You pull out money when you grow, right? So yeah, it's gonna be an exciting journey, and I think that journey is gonna take me right into real estate because you're saying that, Taylor, but your conversations are more tighter, right?
Sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, of course, because it's a big decision. It's like home. This is gonna be mines for the next 25 years. The only so I could say they're almost the same, but um, that's the steps I want to take because I got it figured out. I said, okay, let me get into life insurance. Let me build a network here. Um, Life insurance customers are always going to be 75% homeowners, right?
Right.
Because you get these stuff when things are going well, not when
And when
you're
and when you have
trying to,
kids, yeah,
and when you have kids, right?
that's right.
So
Yeah.
it's not like when you're the guy that goes to a club every weekend. He's not gonna get a life insurance.
No.
He's not gonna, you know what I mean? So we were talking to like people that are elevating, that see the brighter side of life and not just the entertainment side, right? Because I was there. I was once the party guy who goes out every
Yeah.
week and stuff, but soon to realize that what is it doing? Still gonna be there. Like I go to Jamaica and it's like all the parties can happen in 1 week, and then I'm done.
Right. Get
Yeah,
it out of your
so
system.
get it out of your system, right?
So these are high value clients. So you can build up a database of these people, and you can be a trusted advisor to them, and um, you know spin that
Yeah,
into a real estate business. That's a great idea. I love that.
exactly. So I know it's coming there. That's why I'm saying like it's not a might nor a maybe. It's just when.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah,
What's
and you're my guy, Taylor. Don't get it. Nobody else
We're
is
gonna
gonna get
talk
in the head. Yeah, yeah, we're gonna talk about
when you're
this.
ready. We're gonna talk. I
Oh
want to
yeah, for
ask you
sure.
too. Like, no matter what you're selling, life insurance, somebody's house, somebody's car, somebody's dinner. What's one thing that always is the same for you?
Okay, the same for me is I will always be true to me, so I can reflect it to the customer. So I'm not gonna get somebody rolled up and over promise and then under deliver. So I think my delivery system is always the same. I never change that. It's a balance between promise and delivery. So I keep that the same because I never wanna get you too excited and then I'm like, hey Taylor, sorry to let you know, but the house, yeah, this. No, I don't want to do that. I'm not. I don't want to be that person. I wanna make you feel good, but feel better when we're done. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you gotta
Yes.
manage expectations, right?
You gotta manage that expectation, and I think
Yeah.
as you grow into bigger corporate sales and bigger, higher sales tickets, you gotta learn how to balance. It's like It's like the artists. Like I'll give you an analogy why I would prefer Drake over Kendrick Lamar. So Drake strike the balance between um, art and commerce. You see where I'm going here?
Yeah.
Art and commerce. So he's gonna be a more popular artist because he sells him as the name Drake while putting out music. Now the difference between him and Kendrick is Kendrick, yeah, great poet and everything, but can you sing line for line a Kendrick Lamar song? No, you can't, right? Drake makes it more commercialized. So you see where he goes with that. He makes it more kids friendly. It's user friendly. You can just you don't even have to try to listen it over and over to get the hang of it. It's like you hear it. It's like instant
It's got a
gratification. It's
hook.
in your ears already. So I think in life, just you just gotta be that person where you balance your art with your commerce because we're in
Well,
a
you know,
world of commerce.
that
Yeah.
that's an art in itself too, right? Like, you know, the artist that doesn't have that set of skills, maybe some would say that's there's a purity to that, but then also the ability to turn something or to create something that's going to be popular and catchy, like, you know, like the Beatles
Ah,
would be a good example too. Like, um,
perfect.
that's its own form of art, right? To
Hmm.
tap into what people are gonna, you know, play on repeat and put on a playlist and sing along on the radio, right?
Yeah,
So you
it's
want to be
just what
that
it
guy,
is. I want to
yeah.
be that guy. Yeah. So
I know
yeah.
that you have a call coming up at 4. You gave me a deadline, so I'll respect that. Um,
Hmm.
where should I leave this? You know what? I just want to say thanks for doing this with me, and I'm glad I could finally catch up with you and keep the conversation going. And yeah, if you want to, I'll have some clips of this up later, and
Oh
you
yeah.
can, if you want to share
I
with
can
your
share it
friends or
with
whatever.
my platform and they'll see it and because right now this moment was I think this is my best 1 hour spent today
I
because
appreciate that. Yeah,
I
mine
got
too,
a
man.
chance to express myself. Come on, Taylor. Like
Yeah, that's worth something.
I'm really yeah. It's a
I
pleasure to
appreciate
have me
that.
on the show, man.
And what's where can people find you? You mentioned you got a YouTube channel. Say that again.
Okay, so you can find me on all platforms at Chef It Shano. So Chef IT Shano, CHEFITSHANEO, and that's on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Um, where else am I? TikTok.
Everywhere. Right on.
For Gen Z's, TikTok.
Yeah, got to talk
Yeah,
to them
so
too.
I'm on all of them. I post, you know, right now I wouldn't say inactive, but I'm a little bit behind on my daily post. I think I haven't posted in like 6 months, but it's still going. You're still gonna get entertained on what's on the platform already. It's everything food related. For personal accounts, you can find me at Shano1604 and Shano16. So I put the O at the end. So O'Shane and I put the O at the end. So it's Shane O
Yep.
16. And that's where
Right
you
on.
can find me.
Well, hey, thanks again, O'Shane, and good luck with the insurance gig, and we'll be in touch soon.
Oh, for sure. I'm on my way up there. Don't worry. Remember, you
All
just
right,
live up
buddy.
the top there, right?
Right on the corner. Right on the corner.
All right, good. Thanks
All
for
right, man.
having me,
Have
Taylor. It's a pleasure, man. Really
yeah.
appreciate it.
Pleasure's all mine. Okay. Talk soon.
Okay,
Bye.
have a great one. Awesome.